What is happening, guys? Today we are working on the almighty FG XR6 turbo build, and Stingray Car Security have been kind enough to send us out a nice little package to make this car that little bit more sleeper than what it is now, and much more cleaner. So let's go and open the box and inspect the contents inside of it. Opening up the kit here from Stingray Car Security, we have the dual 52mm gauge holder pod for the Ford Falcon FG and FGX, and it comes with a plug and play push button start kit. So the wiring is all there. You pretty much just plug it straight into the ignition and it will all work. So we're going to get to installing this, as well as two gauges that I've got for the car, which I'll show you now. I ended up going with the Autometer Cobalt gauges. This one on the left here is an oil pressure gauge, and the one on the right is a boost pressure gauge. Now these are probably best suited for the Falcons because they do match the cluster as close as possible, and they do also light up blue. So let's get to installing the Stingray kit and these two gauges. Getting into the car, first things first, you want to put it into drive to get the shifter out of the way so you've got plenty of room. Then you're going to grab this piece here like so and pull on it while using your hand to push the sides in and pull it out from the clips. Now, they're the clips there. This one's got one broken one, which I've just discovered. Then you want to come around and remove this bottom piece to get access to the ignition barrel plug. And there is 3 screws under here, and once you get that off, the bottom will drop and then this top piece will come out to make your life a little bit easier. And you also want to make sure that you put your screws in a safe place so you do not lose them. To gain access to get your wiring through to the ignition harness, what you want to do is pull this little inner trim off here, and that just pretty well unclips. You just got to be nice and gentle because you got to remember they are getting old, these cars, so the clips will break nice and easy. But that came off perfect and unscathed. Now the plug that you want is this little one here. What you do is just squeeze that tab and it should just wiggle itself out. Then you're going to grab this piece here, and we're not going to install it yet because I do have to put the gauges in, but we're going to feed this wiring back through to plug into this and patch back up into this black plug here. It is advised that you put something down to protect the piano black underneath here and the bottom of this so you don't scuff it up and make it look nice and ugly. But there is a little hole through the side there that you want to feed your wiring through. That will come straight out the side here and then feed it to that plug that I just showed you. Just pull on a little bit and let it just hang here for the meanwhile. It's quite as simple as plugging in the new harness into the factory ignition, and then this one here will go into that. Now we're going to quickly chuck it into neutral and make sure that it actually works. It is a good way to do this because you don't want to waste time putting everything together and then something may be wrong, but it should work all perfectly fine because he obviously knows what he's doing, but it is never a bad idea to check. So pop it in neutral, red's on, you can see it's already lit up, so let's see how she goes. Beautiful. So now we can move on to the next step, guys, which will be installing the gauges, and then I will show you how to fit this gauge pod nice and properly. Now, lucky for me, I already have this gauge pod here, so it has all the vacuum and the wiring there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pinch it from here and I'm going to run it down, and hopefully it will make it down to here. I ended up pulling out the whole ICC unit so I could end up finding a power wire for the lights. So on the back of the gauges there's a 12 volt, which is your power, and a ground. The ground I'm just going to put in one of these threads here with a 10mm bolt. I've checked it, it's good ground there. Just need to find something that goes with the switch of the lights, and that will light up the gauges when the lights turn on the cluster. I went ahead and pre-wired it. We're going to just run both the positives for the lights off the same one, so they're in there together, and also same with the ground. So I've put a little spade terminal on this here that will go to the back there, and right now we're going to find a power wire for the light switch. So I actually ended up splicing into the back of the AC controls. There was an orange wire there that gave me the 12 volt signal for the lights to turn on and off. Now we're going to quickly check it. I'm just going to shove this on the ground where it's meant to go and turn the gauge lights on, and there we have it. There they work. So I'm going to hook up this to the back there, and then we can start piecing it all back together. Now I've shoved that line in as far as I can get it, so I'm going to chuck a few cable ties on as extra insurance, because you know, you never have enough cable ties holding a vacuum line to a boost gauge. Before we put everything together completely for the final fit, we're going to make sure that it starts, and we're going to make sure that the gauge lights work and the vacuum for the boost gauge works. Now I don't have a sandwich plate for the oil pressure gauge yet, so I'll install that on another date, but all the wiring is there ready to rock and roll. So let's make sure it starts, and let's make sure that the lights light up still. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, so the final part to this install is there's two little knobs on either side, and what you want to do is you want to cut them down so this fits much cleaner inside of there and it doesn't try and push the plastic outwards. So I'm going to use a razor blade. You can use side cutters if you can fit them in there, but that's what we're going to do. Now getting to the final part, you want to put this in on an angle. It actually fits in this little cutout here, and at the top there you'll see there's a little gap, so you've got to go up and in slightly. That'll sit behind it and in place, and then push down this side.
Do a couple of cute little revs. You're trying to get all the Bimbo's attention.
And now this is the final product, and it is absolutely mint looking and really adds to that sleeper effect, because you know it beats having a gauge pot up here, and that just pretty much gives you a good reason to get pulled over and for highway patrol to ask to pop the bonnet. So down here it's much cleaner, much simpler, much better. It is actually a very clean product, and you know the push button start is a very good option. Now you don't have to go with this. They have a few different setups. If you check their website, they have single gauge, triple gauge, boost controller there, a lot of stuff. No shortage of what you want, and maybe if you even want something custom, he may do that for you also. So go and make sure you guys hit up Stingray Car Security, because man, he has some awesome products for the FG and FGX Falcon and a few other things as well. So head over there, check it out, and you will not be disappointed. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it was instructive and informative as I tried to make it be, but I appreciate you all for watching. So make sure you like, comment and subscribe. Put post notifications on so you do not miss out on the next episode and future episodes as always. And I guess we will see you in the next one.